Okay, hi. Bob here on behalf of Radar Busters. This is day 2 for us at SEMA 2018. If you saw our previous video engagement with the Cedar team, we gave you a view from like 100,000 feet, new product offerings, but also in the context of the new ecosystem that's being built and how these products fit in. But now today we're going to drill into, here we go again with our audio. It always happens at these trade shows. But we're going to drill in now to 2 specific new product offerings which are going to really start to lead into the growth of this ecosystem. So why don't we, Manny, this is Manny, the head of the Chief Technology Officer, so this man is overseeing all the great stuff and bringing a lot of new energy and innovation to the Escort models. And so let's talk about the Escort iXc, which is going to be the successor to the iX. Please go ahead,
correct,
Manny.
So again, like we talked yesterday, we talked at a very high level about the product, the product strategy, our approach, and how we're going. And so we want to make it a little bit, more clear and tangible with two specific products that we've announced in the past 2 days. They're separate products. They're independent of each other, but they're also sort of the perfect companions for each other, right? So we'll talk about that piece as well. So so the first one to talk about is the Escort iXc. So really two main themes for the detector itself. It is the next incarnation, the next improved version, redesign of the iX,
right?
And it's now connected. So we'll talk about the first piece, like the iXc relative to the iX, just from a radar perspective.
Detection, yeah. Let's get
from a detection perspective, right? So we've done obviously some industrial design and some styling things there are a little bit different from an aesthetics and industrial design standpoint. But it's really sort of the performance and the guts underneath
that's what our viewers are really going to care about.
That makes some of the difference, right? So new antenna, new horn. So it's it was the M4. It's now the M4 Plus. So additional sensitivity, couple of dBs, 3-4 dBs improvement,
which translates into about 50% increased range potential.
Exactly.
That's not inconsequential.
So in logarithm, in 3 dBs in logarithm doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually, when you translate it, it's quite a bit.
And the iX was actually already noticeably better, in my experience, than the 9500 iX, which was Escort's top seller for how many years? So,
10 years or so.
Exactly.
So definitely, definite improvement on sort of the core, the basic, the basic level.
And that's where all the signal reception starts, right there.
Correct. And obviously, we've also upgraded the filtering, so they kind of go hand in hand. With better range, you're capturing more signals, and so as you're capturing more signals, the good thing is it gives you that range, but you also need to filter out those things.
You have a potential to
capture
it. Yeah. Exactly. So
that is an ever important piece of the development that we always have to be cognizant of those false alerts, and so it has our IVT2 kind of next level of signal rejection.
Right.
So those are the kind of the 2 core sort of radar specific performance range things for the product.
And you also, as I understand, have quite a bit of increased horsepower in the processing, which not only allows you to get that better filtering and signal rejection and proper signal identification, but quickness in the response.
Sure. Yes. So that with the more responsive processor, it's speedier. You know, it's no different than your latest iPhone now. You know, being a lot quicker and
same concept.
Plus we have some additional memory, and so that gives us from a database and from a firmware updating, it gives us a little bit more capability. So by having a quicker, a faster processor and having the memory, as other things come down the pipe, we won't find ourselves with a, oh, we can't download that because we don't have enough, you know, capability on the device. So it sort of gives you room for growth as we do other things on the software side. So that's one side of the coin on the radar. The other side, which is you know, in line with what we were talking about yesterday, is this is the second step in our increased level of connectivity for the products. So we have the Max 360C being a sort of fully connected Wi-Fi enabled device that allows the device to connect directly to the cloud. So now we're bringing it sort of to the mid-tier, if you will, with the iXc. So this gives you the ability to do a couple of things. One, if you have a Wi-Fi hotspot in your car, or if you set up your phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot, right, then you don't necessarily need to be running the app to get alerts. The device will connect directly to the cloud. Yeah. It'll be getting database information, and it'll be getting alerts from other folks. So much better range, but also the limitless range, taking advantage of the community of other folks that detect an alert, pushing it down to the device. So we're again step 2, second device now with Wi-Fi connectivity.
To attach to the sticky butt mount.
I'll give a preview a little bit of some of the connectivity things to come.
Love it.
We obviously not all cars have Wi-Fi hotspots.
Work with this.
Not everybody gets an aftermarket Wi-Fi hotspot. Not everybody wants to set up their phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot.
It will work. So if that power cord works
I can't really share all of the details just yet, but we are working on the pure hotspot connectivity in reducing that friction and making it easier for our consumers, for our users to connect these devices directly to the cloud in an easier and seamless way. So,
well, there it is.
Point being, things to come on the Wi-Fi hotspot next year. So we'll be adding things on that front.
Just to be clear, this iXc will also still be very relevant to that incarnation. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So and it's not a, you know, we're not dramatically changing the iXc or the 360C, but we recognize that part of what we need to do for consumers is we're providing these great benefits when you have the connectivity. But what we want to do is we want to reduce the friction in being able to have that Wi-Fi hotspot connectivity. So we will be announcing some interesting things there.
The best technology is the technology that's out there.
You don't have to think about it. Yeah.
It can hold
well, thank you for that little heads up.
Yeah. So you know, a couple of us in the engineering team have sort of early versions of that where we're running a car hotspot and we have the device, and so we've been eating our dog food ourselves, and we'll be, you know, making it available in the months to come. Yep. So that's the detector. That's the first piece.
And where are we? Before we go to the M1, what is that? Give us the relative price point of the new iXc relative to the iX. Insofar as retail costs.
So the iXc is out now at $449.
Okay. And the iX was $399.
Correct.
So that's that typical $50 download
for those additional, you know, for those additional benefits, both in terms of the pure performance on the radar side, as well as the the benefits of being able to connect directly to the cloud, and also by virtue of that being able to automatically get updates without having to take the device out, connecting it to your computer, doing the download.
All right, and we didn't mention the push updates of the firmware, so you don't even have to go. We talked about that briefly yesterday, but really, the Wi-Fi can potentially, you can see the future.
Yeah. You know, once you're, the vision is all of these devices should just be IoT connected to the cloud directly, and you know we're taking incremental steps to make that vision a reality and reduce the friction for our users to be able to benefit.
Right, very good. Okay, and then we're going to transition to the next component here.
So the next component that we announced is the Escort M1.
You don't have to.
Go to the computer and look at it.
Companion dash cam.
You can connect to it and review.
It is. It's the first.
I have a couple just downloaded here.
Dash cam for Escort users.
You can play
the vision for the product is we want our Escort users to be fully protected. You know, it's adding to what they want or need on the road. So the information and the alerts are one side of the coin, if you will.
Sure.
And the camera is really just another sensor. It's a visual sensor whose main purpose is to give you video evidence for what might happen.
And it comes with SD card, so it's ready to go.
It's dangerous out there, and you know you might get into an accident. You might have a situation where you just want to have the video evidence, right? It's really more of a safeguarding type of feature, and having that sort of peace of mind that if something were to happen and you need the video evidence, you'll have it. So part one. Part two is we wanted to make the camera as flexible as possible and make it a easy and simple addition to any Escort order. So we focus on the mechanical and the electrical integration of the camera, and what you'll see here is so we did,
as long as the power's still to it.
Too simple,
but
yet pretty useful things for the customers. The first one is
I think this
making the attachment
but this can stay
a very simple and nicely integrated mechanical component, right?
Sure.
So same mounts.
It's built to perform in the
a sort of Escort specific attachment for the camera.
Right.
Very easy to you take out the detector, remove.
We have dash cameras over there too.
Yeah, that's great.
Remove the
you can articulate
it, and you know.
But yeah, this is our first.
5 minutes later, you've got the camera attached to the detector in a sort of nice integrated way.
Oh, no question.
So that's the first step. One of the things that the team did very nicely, we have a companion set of video instructions that walk the user through the process. So we did some 3D modeling and created some videos where we walk people, step by step. This is how you attach it. Sort of make it as frictionless and as simple as possible for the users to do that. So that's from a mechanical standpoint.
Right.
The other thing that we wanted to avoid is we didn't want to require an additional power source for the camera.
That is. You know what? So on my car, I got like 3 or 4 things. An extension with the cigarette light. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And
So
to see that power off, pass through.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So what we thought would make things simpler for the users is to rely on a single power source.
Yeah, this is
and just
dash camera.
It goes to the camera. And then there's a short pigtail with a pass through that then powers the detector. Right. So you don't need a second adapter for.
So we sell this camera separately
for the companion. So once you have those two pieces, the mechanical and the electrical, you're sort of good to go.
That's kind of the point of it.
And then the question that becomes like, well, what's the user experience? What's the
dash camera?
That's what we sort of talked about yesterday. What's the really the work product that comes out to the consumer?
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we mentioned is the product really. Yes, we're selling a dash cam, but the product really is the video. The video evidence and those files of those moments that matter for whatever reason. And so the focus is, the user experience is really aimed at, you set it and forget it. You do the initial configuration, you set up the camera, you have it just at the right angle, and then it'll just be recording all the time. You don't have to do anything else. It'll always be in a loop, and then one of two scenarios can develop. It has an integrated G sensor, so if you were in the unfortunate situation that you got into an accident, somebody bumped your car, that sensor will create a file for that particular moment, and it'll save it in such a way that it won't be overwritten as the camera is looping. So you'll have that content. If you're going down the road and you see something interesting, it's not a bad thing that happened. It wasn't an accident. You just saw something that you wanted to capture. It has an emergency record button, so you can press the button at the front, and it'll save a file in the same way that it would when it gets done by the sensor.
So does that come to event duration? With that,
so when you push that, it'll save the last minute segment. So the camera is configurable. You can configure it in 1, 3, and 5 minute segments. Or it comes by default in 1 minute because the 1 minute segment files are they're just the right duration. It's kind of the right compromise between duration and file size. As we all know, video files are large. And if you have a 10-minute video file, it's just going to be a large file to move around. So having a minute segment is nicer. So what it'll do is it'll save the last minute and the next minute,
5 minutes, whatever you prefer.
and it'll lock those and protect them so that they don't get overwritten. But again, the two modes are automatically when triggered by force, or on demand when triggered by the user.
Can I throw an idea out here? I mean, these guys are always listening and thinking, I don't know if this is a good idea. Since the sucker is integrated, you can pass data potentially between what the camera is doing or what the detector is doing potentially. And if, let's say, I don't know, you happen to be driving and you get lit up with laser,
but we have a 25% off show special.
Automatically be alerted by
go online, go to our website,
to say, hey,
buy a detector,
radar,
buy a camera, and you get 25% off.
And then that's also
what's that? I can.
Have you been listening into our?
What's that?
Into our development meetings.
This is the M1.
No, I'm joking.
No, I know. Yes, I have.
It's a pretty insightful point. So, and I think it gets at the core of part of what we discussed yesterday, which is whether it's the video camera or the radar detector, the product is the information.
Right.
The product is the video files itself, the product is the alerts, the product is the information. And as such, they go hand in hand. So you can get information from the camera that'll do something on the alerting side, or vice versa, like you just suggested.
Can I tell you a quick story? Do you have a moment? This actually happened to me. I was doing a sprint from outside of Philadelphia to Naples, Florida in one day. That's a long drive.
Yeah.
Normally 18 hours. I did it in actually a little bit, I think under 14, so I was moving. However, I was driving through Baltimore in the Harbor Tunnel, which is I-95, and I got pulled over by a police officer at like 5 in the morning, and I didn't have a camera on. He didn't get me with radar. He said I made an unsafe lane change after there are 2 tunnels, and one was more actually the truth was he was going in the one tunnel, and I wanted to go by him and pass him on the other tunnel. So just before the divide, I made the jut over and continued on. Well, we came out on basically on the same time, and he pulled me over, and he went to say that I made this unsafe lane change, and I had to argue with him a little bit.
You needed video evidence.
Exactly, but this is what I ended up. This is where it goes. Beyond that, he gave me a ticket. It was a 1-point ticket, but on principle, 1 point. It's like a $50 ticket. 3 hours away from where I live. Well, after we left, and he stopped the traffic, and we both continued on. this officer started going like this, weaving unsafely between the traffic. This is absolutely true. I figured this guy's got the nerve to pull me over, cite me for a violation,
and it's doing the same thing,
and not even signaling. So I had to juggle with my iPhone camera, and what I actually did, I'm like, I'm gonna nail this sucker. This is crazy. I went to court with my laptop, with the video evidence. He misrepresented the case. He was ahead of me. He said he was behind me. He was, look, I saw a car behind you with the brake lights. I said, well, how can you do that? You were ahead of me. He misrepresented. Now, I ultimately won the case, and I didn't need to present that video evidence. But look, in the context of driving, this would have been a perfect scenario.
This is a perfect story for lead into the last point about the product.
Okay,
right?
great.
So we've talked about the integration. We've talked about the setup. We've talked about the creation of the video evidence or the video segments that you want.
Right.
The last piece is when you find yourself in a situation where you want to actually use that video evidence. Right. How do you do it? Right. And that's where the last piece of the offering comes in. So these are Wi-Fi units, and so we have a M1 specific smartphone app that lets you manage the content in the camera. So instead of having to take out the SD card, put it into your computer, do all of that procedure that you talked about, you can connect directly to the camera with the app, browse the content, download it to your phone, edit it, send it, manage it in a variety of different ways. So the example that we're actually running here on the iPad, this was my Happy Halloween video clip where I was just driving along, and there was this guy on the motorcycle with a skeleton dummy in the back that I thought was pretty funny. So it was as easy as I saw that, I hit the emergency record button. I had the file then on the camera. When I got to my destination, I pulled up the app. I downloaded the. I'll show you here what I. So this was. So I downloaded the.
There you go.
So I downloaded the file to my phone. I did I trimmed it because I said I just want to show that one portion when you see the guy, and I I highlighted that section and I added some text. So 3 minutes later, after having parked,
can you show also all the video like
and then you have some you have some additional videos
so
there.
3 minutes after you park.
So 3 minutes after I parked, I had that I had that segment, and then I was able to take it and share it, so I send it to Jonas and Gail and Chris and said, hey, here's my first M1 video, right? So it's a way of describing how what you had to do in a much more convoluted and elaborate way can now just be, the final piece of the user experience.
Yes.
Right? And so that's it. That's the M1 in a nutshell.
I'm going to give you another fly on the wall in these meetings, which I promise I haven't. But I have to. I didn't hear this yet, but I'm just going to theorize. We're smart guys. That you potentially could leverage the Wi-Fi internet connectivity to upload some of those videos right to the cloud, right?
You got it. Yeah. So that,
you're starting to get the idea of what the ecosystem is going to be able to do.
That is absolutely the right conjecture, and a lot of the things that we're going to be focused on later. So the capabilities that the camera has now, is it the ultimate and perfect dash cam? Not yet, but it has, as a platform, the potential of gaining incremental capabilities and incremental functionalities over time, and we'll just sort of leave it at that as a teaser. There's more to come.
No question. So really cool stuff. Now, what is this puppy retail?
So this is available on Escort Radar on our website for $199. We literally just introduced it yesterday, and we have, we're ramping up the production, so we have some limited quantities right now that we're doing direct to consumer, and then early next year it'll be more broadly available in some of our other channels.
Be able to offer that.
Absolutely, yeah. So down the road it'll obviously be available in other channels. So.
Well, this is, Matty, it's just incredible stuff. We came a long way from talking with the Wall of Fame with Chris yesterday from the 70s, but you can really see the internet-connected age that we're in, the video sharing, the social media. Escort's now really embracing this technology, and is going to be, bringing a lot of exciting things, I think, to drivers, performance drivers like myself. It's really great. And-to-end solution.
We really appreciate the time and the opportunity to tell that story, because what I think that we've been able to do is talk at a very high level about the strategy, the approach, how we're taking it, and then provide two very concrete and specific examples of this is what we mean by the plan that we're moving towards. And again, it's two initial product steps of many more and exciting things to come.
Very, very good.
Okay.
Well, Manny, again, it's such a pleasure.
My pleasure.
You guys are really a terrific group. So be sure to visit radarbusters.com for these products, and be sure to subscribe. And we're going to be looking forward to seeing you guys actually in Chicago, I think, pretty soon.
Yep.
And then that's CES, and then some more good stuff.
More good stuff to come. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Take care, guys. You are awesome.